Our viewers, a warm welcome to this edition of the News in English. My name is Serge Nhore. As always, we'll begin with the headlines. Vaccinations against the Marburg virus disease have begun here in Rwanda 10 days after the first cases were confirmed. Now the details, as always, I'm glad you're able to join us. Rwanda has begun vaccinations against the Marburg virus. In a press conference, the Minister of Health, Dr. Sabin Nsanzimana, affirmed that with the measures in place, the government is confident that the virus will be quickly eradicated. Prince Manzi with the details.
Kicking off, vaccinations were given to health workers, particularly those in contact with patients in critical conditions and Marburg patients. Health Minister Dr. Sabin Nsanzimana affirms that these vaccinations have been used before in similar cases in other countries and that they are a solution to eradication of this virus.
Safety phase has been concluded, and the phase we are in is just to contribute to the efficacy of this vaccine, which is not the first time it's being provided. So I mentioned examples where the vaccine has been used, and I mentioned also that WHO has been also part of the process to make sure all those aspects and protocols and guidelines are followed.
We believe that with vaccines, we have a powerful tool to stop the spread of this virus, and that if we combine all these efforts, soon we'll be able to curb and control this virus before it gets far.
According to the Ministry of Health, most of the people who succumb to the virus are health workers. From here, Dr. Brian Chirombo, the Rwanda World Health Organization representative, urges institutions in charge for a committed collaboration, as in the absence of health workers, no one will take care of citizens in need of health services.
The bravery of the health workers still needs to really be applauded. Despite the very high risks they face, they continue to ensure that the services are provided. And here we are talking not only about treating and managing the outbreak, but we're also talking about the other health workers who continue to work. Because for us, it's very key that even if we're in an outbreak situation, even if we have a crisis and an emergency, which we have to address, we still need to make sure that the other services continue. So it means that all the health workers continue to do that, and that's essential, because even though we have an outbreak, we still have to ensure that people access the services that they need, and that's really core. So we really applaud all the health workers in the work that we're doing.
The 700 doses of vaccines in Rwanda are the Sabin vaccine, manufactured by the Sabin Vaccine Institute. Later, extra vaccines will be provided soon. Health Minister Dr. Sabin Nsanzimana urges citizens to avoid rumors as the information provided is transparent and detailed.
To communicate an outbreak takes hours to confirm, to consult, to inform WHO, but that everything was done within 24 hours before the communique is out. But because of now social media is too fast, I would say, by the time our communique gets out, the rumors and even infodemics of something had already gone viral. This is a reality. We are doing our best to be as transparent and as open as possible, because there's nothing to hide about this. This is our problem, but the good news is that we are getting solutions. Hopefully soon we will talk about other things.
On 27th September 2024, Rwanda confirmed the presence of the Marburg in the country. Over 1,700 cumulative tests were taken according to the Health Ministry, and measures are in place to curb the spread of this virus.
Thank you, Prince Manzi, for that report. Now, officials in the Central Bank of Rwanda have no doubt in the effectiveness of measures adopted to deal with global shocks, with the potential of disrupting the country's economy. With more on that is William Evans Mutabazi.
Since the last 2 years, the world's economy continues to return to a good track, which gives hope that it will continue like this or even get better as projected by the indicators of the World Bank. These indicators show that the world economy grew at a rate of 3.2%, and next year it is expected to grow at a rate of 3.3%. While there is hope that the global economy is gradually being restored, there are also concerns about the ongoing political unrest and crises around the world. This could hamper the growth of the global economy. Economic expert Professor Egide Karuranga advises governments to consider looking for markets world over as a measure of dealing with these problems. We have been reluctantly enjoying a degree of stability world over and actively into the full range of activities involved in the production and delivery of a product or service to consumers, and this is known as the global value chain. Countries with extra markets are the only ones that will be able to survive the economic consequences of the rampant political unrest. Another big challenge affecting especially sub-Saharan Africa, where Rwanda belongs, is climate change, which continues to affect agricultural production and harvest. In his analysis, Professor Egide says that there is need to invest more in climate change and more effort to be put in building and empowering the capacities of weather forecasters. More effort should be directed towards weather forecasts, using advanced technologies like aerial warning signal systems to predict and safeguard against negative effects of climate change. All these problems, whether based on political unrest or climate change, are responsible for price fluctuations on the global market. The Central Bank of Rwanda says that even if it were to get worse, Rwanda has enough foreign currency reserve to support it in times of crisis, as revealed to us by Professor Kasai Ndahiriwe, head of the Monetary Policy Department. By December, we shall still be having enough foreign currency in our reserve, capable of facilitating importation of goods and services without any other entry of foreign currency. This can take us for about 5 months. It could also go beyond 5 months, but for any developing country, it is not good to have a reserve of say 20 or 30 months, yet you have other areas of need to also focus on. For that reason, 4.7 months, which is almost 5 months, is considerably a good reserve period for Rwanda. According to the data of the Central Bank of Rwanda, by the end of June, Rwanda's reserve was $2.04 billion, which is more than 2,673 billion rand francs, which can sustain the country for almost 5 months while importing goods from elsewhere in the world, should there be unprecedented times hindering entry of any foreign currencies. William Evans, Mtabazi, RwandaTV News.
The residents of Butaro sector in Burera district have expressed their appreciation for the medical infrastructure that has been established in their area. They emphasize that this achievement is a result of the Rwandan government's efforts to promote development for all citizens in the past 30 years. Olive Nete filed the following report back in June as the country prepared to celebrate the 30th anniversary of its liberation.
Butaro Hospital, located in Burera district, specializes in the diagnosis and treatment of various cancers. Notably, 7% of the patients seeking medical care at this facility are foreigners, primarily from the Democratic Republic of Congo and other neighboring countries. In addition to cancer treatment, Butaro Hospital has been providing general medical care since 2012. Currently, the hospital monitors over 17,000 cancer patients. Its capacity has been expanded, enabling patients to receive treatment not only in Butaro but also in Kigali and other locations. Cancer patients particularly appreciate receiving medications free of charge. Currently, Butaro Hospital accommodates approximately 250 patients with plans to add about 100 more beds. The hospital now offers CT scan services, and a mammography machine for diagnosing breast cancer is expected to become operational soon. Lieutenant Colonel Emmanuel Kaitare, the Director General of Butaro Hospital, emphasizes that they are actively pursuing renovation activities and expanding the range of services available. Butaro Hospital, now a Level 2 teaching hospital, serves as a practical training site for students of the University of Global Health Equity. The university boasts essential infrastructure, including classrooms, modern laboratories, and other facilities conducive to effective learning. Since its inauguration in January 2019, students from 24 countries worldwide have enrolled. These students view their experience at the university as a significant opportunity.
Lessons here, I am a third-year medical student, and the lessons here comprise of two main parts for a medical student. We have basic medical sciences, where we spend most of our time in classes, and then we have clinical classes, where we spend most of our time in the hospital, but also in class. And what this signifies for us as medical students is that even though you might learn from a book, most of the time you will learn from a patient themselves. You will learn from being in the hospital and facing the realities of healthcare. So the lessons are amazing. I get to learn from different faculties who are very experienced and who teach you. The lessons are not just global lessons, but they're especially for communities like ours, rural communities, how we can advance healthcare. And not only that, we also have amazing community basic education, which also where we spend most of our time in the community listening to community health workers, listening to patients, and it's amazing. The lessons are very good. Yeah.
Actually, my expectations have been realized. So I came here expecting to learn more about global surgery. I'm part of the inaugural batch of the global surgery track, and I think I've grasped much of the concepts in global surgery. And also one of my expectations was to see Africa from different cultures, and I think that has been realized too. There are multiple international students here, and I've seen what the West Africans look like and what their culture is. I've seen the culture of Rwanda. I've also learned some few phrases from the Kenya Rwanda language. So basically, Murakoze, that's the best one. Like Murakoze, Muraho, Amakuru. And yeah, so I think the best part would be the cultural experience that you have. We even had a cultural week, so where we dressed up in our cultural clothes and perform cultural dancing. That was an epic night.
The Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor Phil Cotton, elaborates on why the university was established in this particular area.
It is an amazing journey, isn't it? I mean, it's quite incredible, really. And people still come to see the campus and say, but why is it here? You know? The reason it's here is intentional. It's purposive. It's about standing with the people that you serve. It's about living within the community of people that you serve. And I think historically, doctors and healthcare workers did live in their communities. And then they started to move away to big cities and travel some distance to be with the people that they serve. But then they would retreat from those communities. So we wanted the young people who learn in this place, who learn medicine in this place, to learn it alongside and with the people that they will ultimately serve.
Residents of Butaro's sector view this health infrastructure as a testament to good governance and visionary leadership. Butaro Hospital and the University of Global Health Equity are collaborative achievements of the Rwandan government and partners in health. In 2023, the University of Global Health Equity became the 8th university in sub-Saharan Africa to offer sustainable and quality education. Over 160 residents have been employed in various roles, while local farmers find reliable markets for their produce at fair prices, contributing to community development and related activities.
Researchers and scientists believe that their findings, when valued by policymakers, have the potential to expand into large-scale business activities. These initiatives could offer solutions to significant challenges hindering national development, such as malnutrition and air pollution. Olive Nete continues.
A study by Musabirema Alexis demonstrates that cricket powders could solve malnutrition, obesity, and anemia in children and parents. His facility meets warmth and humidity standards, with breeding boxes where crickets are fed and reproduce using technology. His project, funded by a 50 million Rwandan francs grant from the National Council for Science and Technology, is growing daily. He aims to produce 300 kilos of powder in 2025 to combat these health issues.
We see that in 100 gram there is 69% of the 100 grams like it's protein. But if we go to meat and the eggs, it's about 21, 25, which means that cricket has high in protein, 3 or 2 times more than meat and fish and the eggs. It's not only in proteins, but also they have high minerals like calcium and iron. Mainly for women, they need this iron. We recommend them to find it in crickets. And also they have this omega-3, which are good for our health, and even crickets help to boost the immunity. That's why our crickets are lovely and used by the sportsmen.
Since the National Research and Innovation Fund was established in 2018, over 6 billion Rwandan francs have been invested in 125 research projects. One recipient, Tuyizere Emmanuel, received 50 million Rwandan francs to expand his project, analyzing vehicle exhaust fumes. He has ordered machines to produce sensors that will be installed in cars to measure emissions in collaboration with the Rwandan police.
In this research, we are making good progress. Together with the police, we have conducted various tests and are preparing a platform for producing these devices, which will be installed in vehicles. Our efforts are now focused on manufacturing them locally, as we handle the design and other procedures, then print, but we also want to assemble the final devices. Our goal is to complete the entire process here in Rwanda.
NSST statistics show that the number of researchers has increased from 2,000 in 2020 to 3,800 in the last 3 years, with women researchers rising from 558 to 996. Dr. Alphonse Nkurunziza, a researcher at the University of Rwanda, presents his findings to decision makers and is pleased that his research results are valued and implemented.
For example, we do studies related to public transport operation performance to see what should be needed in order to make sure that this is the performance does well. So such research that is being fed to the state of Kigali, and we are working together with the departments that are concerned with operations of public transport, and then we give them feedback on how what comes out. And then based on that, they are able now to draw some conclusions that can lead them to make some interventions on the ground, but also at the same time giving feedback also to the public transport operators where they have challenges, so that they can easily target the resources to make sure that they can be able to overcome those challenges, but based already on the numbers and evidence on the ground.
In 2020, the country invested 0.69% of its GDP in research. This has now increased to 0.79%. Dr. Eugene Mutimura, Executive Secretary of the Rwanda's National Council for Science and Technology, is proud that about 20 research projects are currently expanding into the commercial market.
When I talk about research that is commercialized, that is exactly what I mean. Research that addresses, national issues, not only research that is published. I gave examples that we have over, I think, 20 projects that have reached the level of commercialization, meaning that they can have their products commercialized and get patents. Some of them actually have already registered for intellectual property rights, and that's what we want. And that's why we talk about academia-industry collaboration. It addresses the needs, it brings about new innovation, new technology, and it's supposed to create jobs and improve industry and economic growth of the country.
The goal is for the government to invest at least 1% of the country's GDP in research activities addressing national issues. By 2035, the plan is to increase this investment to 1.5% of the GDP, and by 2050 to more than 3%.
30 years since Rwanda's liberation, the country has completely transformed itself. No longer one that drives people away, but draws them by focusing on developing infrastructure and promoting its various attractions. The following report was also filed just before the 30th anniversary of the liberation. Olive Nete once more.
In June 1994, Rwanda was a country no one would dare to live in due to the genocide against the Tutsi and the ongoing struggle to end it. Today, Rwanda has transformed into a popular tourist destination, with many visitors arriving via Rwandair, which now serves 24 destinations. Last year, international conferences and tourism generated over $95 billion in revenue for Rwanda. Visitors often express positive views about their experiences in the country.
You have, I think, perhaps set the standard for the whole of Africa. It is extraordinary how digitally connected and modern Rwanda is. And this is my first visit, and honestly, I have been blown away. I mean, we had been wonderfully taken care of with visas, with flights coming in, no problems. I flew Rwanda Air, which was fantastic. You have a wonderful airline.
It sounds like there's been tremendous work done in the past 30 years. And the direction this country is going, from what I know and what I've learned, it's one of the leading countries around the world for the environment. The collective push is so beneficial, and I'm so excited to see how it will evolve and change over the coming years.
Well, it's just been wonderful to be here in beautiful Rwanda. We look forward to going to see more of the countryside tomorrow. We have educational tours for the next 2 days, and so we're looking to come back in the future and to continue this relationship.
Rwanda is one of the countries that has opened its doors to citizens of many African countries and beyond, allowing entry without a visa or providing visas on arrival. Aimable Chimenyi, the second vice president of the Private Sector Federation, highlights that this policy presents a significant opportunity for investors in the country. Where the world is heading, people are going to start visiting various places. Like us in Rwanda, beyond Visit Rwanda, we have to establish good things to raise our country's standards. It is important to plan that effectively, so that if someone looks at Africa and says that this is where I should live with my family, this means that we will get expert doctors, expert engineers, and make products that can go elsewhere in Africa. At the recent 4th graduation ceremony of the African Leadership University, President Paul Kagame told the students that they should consider Rwanda their second home.
We are even more privileged to welcome a large number of students from all over our continent. You are welcome here, and you always have a second home in Rwanda. As we say here, I'm sure most of you have probably heard that. Ibyiza biri imbere. The best lies ahead.
Figures from the Rwanda Development Board show that in 2023, the country was visited by 1.4 million tourists. Additionally, Rwanda hosted around 160 international conferences and other entertainment activities attended by over 65,000 people.
And now a look at health matters. And a serious dental complication that can develop in certain individuals has to do with teeth alignment. Our colleague Enola Gladys Benimana spoke to a dental therapist about the condition and how it can be dealt with. Take a look.
One of the teeth problems is malalignment that requires the doctor to advise you to put on the braces. So we are here with one of the doctors. He's going to be talking about how do we use this, why do we use it, when is it required to put on braces?
Usually we need the braces or orthodontic treatment when you have malaligned teeth, especially when a child has 12 years teeth, the old age, when you have the teeth which are not online, so you need to do checkup and see if we can put braces. So before that period, I can say what we need is only to do checkup so that when you reach at the age of 12, we should see if really you need braces, because before you have some primary teeth. Primary teeth are child teeth, which will need to be removed so that we have the permanent teeth. So the braces are recommended when you have all permanent teeth. Before having the permanent teeth, we need to wait that period of time. Can you say what are the causes when you have a marine teeth? There are different causes, especially there are some causes due to genetics. You will find that some familial people, you find one family with children, but all of them you find they have a malignment. That is genetic reason. But sometimes you can have a malignment due to some other habits, personal habits, like a child during childhood, when you likely to thumb sucking. Here you can have what we call open bites. When the child try to put teeth together, they don't meet. You find a gap inside the upper and the lower teeth. So those was due to the habits which are not good. So other reasons, sometimes you can have a mouth, but how the teeth are aligned, there is a space which is not enough. So when the teeth try to allow in the space which is not enough, they try to search the way they can allow it in a alignment way.
We have a specific limit for maybe a person to put on the braces. Maybe if he's older than 50 years, he cannot put on the braces. Is that possible also?
It's good advisable to put braces when you are still in young age. So between 12 years and 35 years, you get a good prognosis. So when you are above 35 years, so I cannot say you can't put braces. You can put, but the treatment will take long time. Will take long time compared to when you should put before 35 years.
What is normally the specific period, if I can say that you have to put on the braces?
Generally, I can say that toothbrush should take like this period and this, but most of the cases they should do here in 2 years. Yeah, but most of the cases in 1 year you find a good appearance, and those 2 years is maybe to continue to adjust where the teeth are fixed, so that when you remove braces, they will stay in the place where they are located, where they are fixed. Yeah, but the real period, most of the time you find between 6, depends on the problem, between 6 months and 2 years, most of the cases are okay. But as you become older, it can even be beyond that period of time.
When do you consider that someone really have to put on the braces?
Indication for putting braces, it depends on the status of teeth. First, the braces need to see if the problem is real severe. Or problem we cannot see all problem, then you say you put braces. Sometimes they say putting teeth online is important, but is not emergency. We need to put braces when you have the malignment, especially severe cases where you cannot eat. You can have a malignment and it causes you to even not eat. There is a disturbance in eating, where we call it mastication problem. There, especially, you have what we call malocclusion. Yeah, the posterior molars, they are not occluding properly.
So that's it for the news, but I'm glad you're able to join us. Stay with Rwanda Television as the programs continue. Goodbye.